Good morning, superstars.
Morning, Karen.
Good morning. So here we are again. Welcome to the Karen House Show, the Reconnection Project, and my beautiful friend, I would say, Charmaine. How are you this morning?
Good.
Is joining us, and we are the Reconnection Project because that's how we see ourselves and all about being connected, which is for me was something I had to work very hard to do because I was constantly felt disconnected, which meant my life just went to shit really for a while there. I didn't really know who I was. And you know, when I look out there at the moment, Charmaine, man, what is going on?
I know.
Has the world gone mad?
It's not a personal journey. It's a humanity's mission right now, reconnection.
It is. There's some real militants out there. It's quite interesting how another human feels it's their God-given right to tell you what you should do. How about you worry about you and I'll worry about me?
Yeah.
That's where it should be at. We can make decisions because we are grown-ups, and I'm not going to make decisions that are based on fear.
We're a free society. Don't forget that.
So what brought us to this show? Because, you know, I'm very passionate. Passion is our driver. I want to be able to, you know, I guess we want to create an environment where everybody feels safe and happy, and not a world where we're restricted as we're doing now. So we were using the lockdown as our analogy, is sitting in the sound of silence.
Yep.
So thanks for those that are joining us. And we do hope you get something. We always say if we can change one life, our job is done, right, Charmaine?
Yeah. If you can just take one little snippet from anything
just
to say.
Something little to start getting you on your way.
Yeah.
And removing that fear and coming from love. Oh,
yeah.
Yes,
lift you up if you're in a dark place right now, because so many people are. And, you know, we've been there too.
And I really can feel it. I really... You know, this is not about judgment on anyone. And this is why I say you worry about you. Wherever you're at in your journey, that's okay. There's no right or wrong. We emphasize that time and time again. Okay, so before we begin, we want to acknowledge the traditional ancestors of this land and the world with which we are all connected. I really want to emphasize that, connected. We ask for their permission and acknowledge them for sharing our one goal, and that is for unity and connection.
Yeah.
It's not too much.
That's all there is.
Not too much to ask.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean. So our topic this week, sitting in the sound of silence, seemed quite apt. And out of the mouth of Keanu Reeves.
Love him.
I love Keanu Reeves. I love some of these amazing actors that are now connected, that are sitting in their own space without fear, and nobody can sway them. It's like, you know, when I know myself, I was like this, Charmaine, because I was, you know, I didn't have that connection, the root to the ground, you know, the roots, strong roots. I didn't have great mentors in my life. And I didn't have the strong foundation. So now I've been strengthening my foundation, been working goddamn hard on this because I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to be able to reach people and help them to do and, you know, experience what I've just come through. So there's so much work to be done out there.
Yeah. So to be a strong tree to reach people, you need those strong roots, those foundations. Yeah. That's the building blocks of anything strong, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And the way I did that was I started sitting in the sound of silence. I journaled and I sat with myself. I cried every day. Every day the tears would just stream down my face.
Uncomfortable silence, isn't it?
Yeah. And I didn't care. Jeff wouldn't come up and say, "You okay?" because he knew I needed to go through this. I mean, the first couple of times he might have, and I said, "No, I need to experience. This is my experience. Bugger off." But thank you anyway for caring.
Maybe people are telling you that you're stupid, or that you should snap out of it, or you should stop crying, and just don't listen to that either. You know, even if you're not getting support, or if you're getting negative support, you know, not to listen to that either. Just, you know.
Well, they think crying is a sign of weakness, and they don't want people to see that. And actually, it's a sign of strength, really, because vulnerability is the only way you can move forward, is to be vulnerable. You're not going to be able to achieve what you want to achieve and all those amazing things that you can achieve, because everybody has it in them to be a superstar. You're all superstars right now. That's your basis.
Yeah.
Now go on.
And men are allowed to cry. Children are allowed to cry. It's okay. It's actually really good.
But the other thing too is some people feel that they don't have time for this, and it's counterintuitive, sitting still, but it's utterly transformative.
Yeah, that's that conditioning we were talking about last week, wasn't it? You know, about being,
So I guess for those that don't know me, I'm Karen Howe. I should put passionate on my name, but you know, I'm here to help show people how they can take their lives to that next level, how they can see their full potential, and allowing them to feel more alive. So every day they wake up and they just want to, you know, change the world in whatever way, shape or form that is. So rather than feeling disabled, enabling them, you know, this is the key for me. Think outside of that box, not being limited that what you think is now. Think about what could be. Think beyond and how exciting that thing can be. Not like, oh, how will that look? Or, you know, who will be in the picture if I make that decision and do that thing? You don't want to keep those people in the picture if it's time to move on. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Yeah.
So don't hang on to people that are keeping you in that space, that you need to move on and become that bigger person that you are here, the things you are here to achieve and do. Don't deny people of that.
No, don't think what if, think imagine if.
Yeah. Imagine with me. So I recently published my book, Reclaim Your Life, and that's just what I continue to do on my path. So over to you, Ms. Charmaine, and give some people some background on what it is you do.
Yeah, I'm the same. So I'm Charmaine. My work is through soul frequency feng shui, which is feng shui in all its modalities, helping families and businesses to heal and harmonize their life when they're feeling stuck or ill by balancing their energy. So heal your energy, heal your life. But overall, in my bio, I pretty much have the same humanities awakenings activist. So that's what I stand for pretty much with what I do every day.
Yes, and you're very good at that. You've done some amazing stuff with our family, Miss Charmaine, and constantly grateful.
Yeah,
and that's what I've got behind me. Grateful.
Yeah,
blessed.
We evolve. As we evolve with others, you know, we evolve ourselves, and that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. So society always encourages us to always do more, move faster than yesterday, and move faster tomorrow, to do even more and be faster still. Just keep doing, keep going on that mouse wheel and keep going. The problem is most of us lack the skill to be alone, because we're so used to everything in our head is just what I need to be doing next, what's next. And we don't even have those quiet shutdown periods. I'm always busy.
Yeah.
I hear so many people go, no, I'm too busy for that. I'm always busy. But they're distracting themselves from sitting in silence, because I know myself, when I started sitting in silence, I cried every day.
And not many people want to go there.
And because they don't want to go there and feel those uncomfortable feelings, that you can't move forward while you're holding on to those uncomfortable feelings.
So they say, keep busy, you know, pay attention to something else. And it starts in school, where you've always got to keep busy.
Just flipping the channel, texting, responding. Oh, this is important. I need to respond now.
Creating drama somewhere else to distract you away from your own drama, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So how do we ever get to, I guess, what's really going on underneath all the madness if we're constantly in that busy state?
Yeah.
So in the words of Blaise Pascal, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be alone. They don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe this to be true. I do believe this, because I did that too. I didn't want to be on my own. I was constantly searching for someone to be with.
Yeah.
shouldn't say constantly, I haven't had that many partners in my life, but I was searching for someone to be with. I didn't want to be alone. Like I knew, and now I say to Jeff, why don't you plan an overnight weekend away with the boys? I actually really enjoy being on my own. He's always loved being on his own.
Yeah.
He spent most of his life on his own. I'm his longest standing partner. He's been on his own most of his life, but he can enjoy his own company. And that's what that attribute, him was amazing. He was my stable, like he was my building, my foundation. Platform helped, because he would say, can you not just sit in a room and not talk, or not want music on, or not want for something? And I said, no, I can't. So I had to learn that. Yeah, to be with him, I needed to learn that, because otherwise I would have drove him and me nuts. I could imagine what it would have just not ended well. So he helped me. He's my lifetime person. He's not here just for a reason, I don't believe. But he was my grounding.
Yeah, he's your balance.
My balance, yeah. And we are very well balanced, as you know, Charmaine. You've watched us together, and
You're his activator and he's your grounder.
So my brain was totally in charge of where it took me, until I learned a few basic techniques to gain back control for myself. And it doesn't take hours to stop the spinning. Just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Sitting quietly can have that transformative impact on your entire day. I go through days where my days just go green lights, car parking spot, work gets done. I get to the end of my day and go, wow, that was amazing. And when days that they don't go well, I just go, oh, okay. So I just keep my focus and just get through the day. It's just a day. I don't go, oh crap, why is this always going wrong for me? Why me?
Yeah. Or if you are getting all the red lights, you're like, every time the red light seems to be taking forever. You're like, why wasn't it like yesterday? Instead, you could say, what's this about? Is the universe telling me maybe just to slow down a tad? Is it telling me just to stop? Maybe, 100%. Signs everywhere.
And I have learned that something happened up further along, and then, your heart goes out because it's been an accident. And then that could have been you, you could have been in that accident. And
I've seen people, I've been in the car with people where it's every red light after every red light in a 4-wheel drive, and they were sitting there for so long and they've just gone, oh, stuff this, and they've just 4-wheel drived over the island, done a U-turn and gone the other way and turned left, instead of just, because they weren't willing to just sit in the red light. And I don't think it would have got them there any faster, but just that inability to just sit.
Yeah. And that's the whole sitting in silence, because that's what it does create. And, I found when I did more of the sitting, it created more space in my life.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
Yeah. I see it more than just one dimension. I know, for me, using lockdown as an analogy, we've been forced to sit still, but then people have gone, damn this lockdown. And, I guess reasons, again, there's no right or wrong, but it's, if you were to sit still and go, what's this opportunity presenting to me? Use the time now, because I want to write a program, I'm researching material, I'm doing my daily inspiration and blogs. I've found pleasure in bushwalking, which I never had before. I just sit in my own space, as I've now learned to do. I can do that better now. I can just sit there and not go, I can't just sit here for 5, 10, 15 minutes and sit in silence. Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
So and then I created more and more space, allowing me to seize the moment, allowing me to keep my mind open, allowing me to deal with stuff that comes my way that once upon a time I would have just broken down in tears. I mean, I still do occasionally, because I've just got that tendency.
Yeah.
But
good.
Not as bad. I can talk about Dylan's disability now. I can talk about his future without breaking down now, because I've taken a lot of the emotion out of me.
Yeah.
The stuff that was sitting, the fear emotion.
Yeah, you really had to deal with it and sit in it. So even if you don't agree with lockdown, but you sit in it, because a lot of us don't, you sit in it and say, okay, I'm in lockdown. I'm like, why am I angry? Why am I angry? Is it because my freedom's taken away? And just sit in it and analyze yourself instead of blaming. And you can sort of get to the real issue why it's upsetting you, you know. It's a good silence.
Yeah. So use that opportunity.
Yeah. So, because, you know, I don't, you know, potentially agree with the lockdowns, but I know it does take you internally and you say, why am I so angry? Like, what am I going to do about it? You know, is this about change and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
So what we're getting on before about conditioning ourselves to be okay with sitting in the silence. Whereas I think from school, you're always told keep busy, to always pay attention. And that if you're not doing anything, if you're daydreaming, like we talked before, if you're staring out the window, that's non-productivity, and stop daydreaming, get back into thinking. So, you know, I actually love the concept of less is more. And daydreaming is not laziness, but the stigma around not having an active mind or body that leaves us feeling guilty. We all say that, oh, you know, I feel guilty for doing nothing all day, but sometimes nothing is very productive. So from society and peers, they're always pushing towards falsely projecting us onto laziness is a bad thing, you know, and that in the old days that they would say your kids need to be cured from this. You need to snap them out of this laziness. They're daydreaming all the time, when actually they're the creators of an amazing world.
Just to think, like, it's the taking control of people's lives. You should do this, you should say that, you should be this, you shouldn't act like that. La, 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 la.
The kid's a daydreamer, he needs to be snapped out of it, you know, get him into a program, you know, that kind of stuff. So, however, you know, of course we know the difference between mindlessly sitting around and not contributing to bettering yourself or mankind, you know, playing the victim or the blame, that versus actively meditating and daydreaming, that strengthens your inner vigilance and resilience and empowerment, as we're all striving towards. We know the difference. So and it's this knowing and the sitting still and the being okay with it is so we can evolve, you know, like, so we can come together and create positive change and solutions as a whole. You know, if we're all screaming in fear and yelling at each other, what are we going to do? You know, it's not going to achieve anything. It's coming from a place of fear. So right now, you know, I think sitting in the silence, even if you don't agree with the lockdown, this is where change and solutions will come. You know, this is where unified people can come for solutions, just in your own world, but for humanity as well. So you know, because I believe the freedom of choice and love to all humanity. So I'm also we're talking about connecting with your heart and connecting with nature and animals and remembering who you are, which a lot of that's been taken away as well. You know, you just want to go out and walk in the bush and sit in nature, which is, you would think in the middle of a pandemic, to go out in the middle of nowhere where no one is, should be the right thing to do to reconnect with nature and animals and stuff. But we're being told we're not allowed to do that. So that's very conflicting internally.
Absolutely. Yeah, what to do, which way to turn, who can I talk to, who can't I talk to, who can I trust, who can I not trust? You know, it's actually none of that. It's none of that at all. When you're connecting, you're connected, and you're sitting in your own power, and it's not about proving a point. I'm staying and sitting in my own power because, you know, I've got a point to prove.
I'm not going to wear a mask, that kind of stuff.
But not at all. It's actually about sitting in your own power so that you can make decisions, informed decisions, and you're not coming through your emotion. It's actually, you know, you're able to articulate much better. You're able to deal with adversity much better. Things are thrown at you. You know, when you are sitting in your truth and in your own power and not focus on what other people are doing and what, you know, in their business. Because this is what we do, because we get distracted. So we worry about what everybody else is doing and judging them or being in their business. In fact, what's happening to your business? It's empty. Nobody's there looking after your business. No,
and forget, like, it's hard, I guess, when we've got peers, or if it's school or if it's work and you need to earn money. So you are being told what you have to do. You are being told that you do have to wear a mask and you have to sit down and be quiet and not say these things. But sometimes you just need to forget who everybody's telling you you are. Like, forget who you've been told you are your whole life. You're this, you're that, and just awaken.
Slate.
Yeah.
Get to know yourself all over again.
Yeah. Ultra important right now to survive what's going on. You know, I'm who I say I am, not who I've been told that I am, you know, by what work you do or what grades you get, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, who are you really?
Be good, do what you do well and be good at it.
Yeah.
And, you know, be kind.
Yeah. Connect with your heart, follow your heart, you know, whereas your head will always say, but you need to make money, but what will people say? But still, you just got to do it right now. You really do.
Right now,
only way.
Yeah. Right now, we have to be in truth for ourselves, not doing things or anything. And I know where a lot of people may think we're going with this. This is life globally, not doing things for everybody else or thinking it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Because is it the right thing for you?
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe not. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not.
You're selfish if you don't do this because think of the other people. That's manipulation, and that's not right. You must even know that's not right.
Again, worry about you and I worry about me.
Exactly.
And the decision you make will be based on your informed decisions. You know, you would have done your due diligence. You would have, you know, checked everything out. It's like going to buy a car, going for that job. You do your due diligence.
Yeah.
You don't just jump in with both feet without, you know, or reading the you know, the clauses on stuff, reading. You know, even when I buy food, I read all the ingredients for the food I buy, because there's so much crap out there that we have reactions. So, and we value our bodies.
Yeah.
So, you know, I do that for Jeff as well.
Yeah.
Because he has so many reactions and adverse reactions to things.
And then you might make a choice and just say, oh, I'm going to do this weekend, which I've done many times, and then you go to yourself, yeah, I think I made a bad choice there, but like I accept the consequences because it was my choice.
It was your choice. Yes, that's right. Consequences come with our choices.
Yeah.
Some are bigger than others. Yeah. So I guess what we want to start doing in these sessions, we could just talk for hours, man. Couldn't you really?
Yes.
Is that we wanted to practice this stillness. We want to work with you guys to practice this. And it's even if you're laying in bed and struggling to go to sleep, or if you're having anxiety, like I hate using these terms, if you're really feeling stressed and don't know which way to turn, or apart from if you've got somebody you can talk to, but take a nice slow breath in. And you do these, I usually do it 6 times, Charmaine, consecutively, and I do it 3 or 4 times a day. I use this out breath for my gratitude statements, because I'm breathing in, then I'm releasing out, and while I'm releasing out, I do my gratitude. So my gratitude goes out to, you know, the universe, because it's a frequency, and then, you know, I just take a nice slow breath in. We'll actually practice this after we talked about it, so we can make a note and put this in the post, by the way, so you don't have to try and remember this. We take a nice slow breath in, count to 5.
Hold, and then let it out.
What I do is I slow breathe out.
Yeah.
Some people might want to go, you know, breathe out, but I do a count back, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm saying my gratitude statement. So I'm not counting. I'm saying, you know, I'm grateful for this amazing life that I get to live. I'm grateful for that I wake up every morning and I have a healthy mind and body.
Yeah.
You know, so I go through my gratitude, and I've got about half a dozen.
I think it works 2 ways great. Like the way you're saying, where is your gratitude, and the way you're doing it, I see it as when you breathe in is the universe breathing into you, and when you breathe out, you are breathing into the universe. So that's when you're sort of manifesting and in setting intentions. But if you're really stressed and anxious, you might like to breathe out intensely. You might like to think it the other way. I'm breathing in the good and I'm expelling what I don't want. So whichever way you do it, there's no right or wrong. It's all good stuff.
Yeah. So you just do what suits you. This is your 5 minutes though. And it's actually not 5 minutes.
I like 9. 9's my number.
Oh, so you do 9 times. So yeah, look,
I love
here you
9.
go. Everybody has their way, whatever you want to do and the time you've got. People say like, I don't have 5 minutes to sit still, but I'm willing to bet there are 5 minutes hiding somewhere in your day, just waiting to be found. Try these ideas. So stay 5 extra minutes in your bathroom or home or at work, sitting in front of your desk, sit in your car while you're driving in the traffic and you've got every red light.
Yeah.
Parked outside your home, 5 minutes.
Yeah. Because
it's nothing. This is for you. This is, this is for you. This is for you to take time for you. And when you do that, watch the magic. I want to hear back from people to say, wow, Karen and Charmaine, that was great. I couldn't get to sleep. And so I do, if I wake up at 2 o'clock, some stupid o'clock, I lay there and write, okay, and I don't allow things to run around in my head. I used to. It's like, now I just do the breathing in and out, in and out. I do it 6 times. I don't always do my gratitude statements when I wake up at stupid o'clock.
No, you don't have to. No.
But I use my gratitude statements for the other times in the day that I'm doing it.
So even if you just listen to your breathing and nothing else, and you feel all your senses, so you feel the shirt against your chest and you feel the air inside your mouth, and that'll distract your mind into the sensations. So that's great homework.
So there's your homework, your heart work. We won't call it homework, it's heart work.
Oh, that's awesome. That's your heart works, because this is and whenever you get that challenging or that anxiety or that anything, if you think you haven't got time to take 5 minutes, you'll be amazed that taking that 5 minutes will actually expand your day. So it'll feel like time has slowed down. So you'll feel like you've actually gained, I would say, at least 20 minutes by taking 5 minutes. So, Gandhi always used to say, I've got so much to do. I won't take 10 minutes to meditate. I'll take 20, because he had more to do that day, which meaning the more time you take to meditate, the actual more you will get done.
Yes.
In a day, like the more space.
And that's what we were talking about. And I've experienced it. I'm testimony to that, because exactly what's happened. People say to me, how do you do what you do? Well, because I've learned this art of sitting in silence.
Yeah.
I get more done. I get more time for me. I'm doing these TV shows. I still get to do what I do, but these TV shows for me is me sharing my experience. I don't come with a piece of paper. I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do. We're just sharing our experiences. And if anybody wants to come along with us and, do the hard work and basically do the work, then, you're going to notice a difference very quickly. And you know what, if you're ready for a change because nothing else is working for you, why not? You've got nothing to lose.
And if you're stressed out or you're anxious or you've just watched the news and you've got a little bit of fear-based reaction there and you've almost played into the drama, if you can just center and just do the breathing, you can bring yourself back to balance, because that's what we're seeking here. It's not right or wrong, good or bad, left or right, up or down. Any side of what's going on. It's just, if you feel you've been pulled too far into fear and anxiety, this is about balance. So we're bringing ourselves back to center, and that 5 minutes that can save your life, that you would usually ruminate into more anxiety and get on your phone and then be more this, that, everything, all bad things happening, and it just ricochets one thing after another. So just taking that 5 minutes, that balance is the key word here. So
we need to seek more lightness. We've got so much darkness out there at the moment, and when we get balance, which is your yin and yang, look it up. It's not stuff we make up. You need to have balance, dark and light. I would have thought people would be afraid of the darkness, fear darkness, but we can't have all darkness and no lightness, because otherwise we get imbalance in the world. And this is the total balance comes the chaos. It's the dance of life.
That's
when
right.
there's too much dark, the light must rise. And this is what we're urging now. But if there were too much light, the same thing will happen.
Yeah,
Definitely this will attract darkness to challenge it.
that's right. Yeah,
It's like
that's
love,
absolutely
hate,
right.
it's that whole love, but it's, it's so much in it.
Yeah,
See how there's no right or wrong? There's
yeah.
only balance to achieve harmony. The
We're
balance
not
is,
saying, we're not saying ignore your fear, because we need fear and love, because as we said before, fear keeps you alive and it motivates you for change and stuff like that. But when you feel like there's too much fear, you need to bring in the love, so.
and that's where sitting in silence to bring in the love.
Absolutely.
And don't fight your thoughts when they come and you keep thinking, oh, that same thought keeps coming back, the darkness or whatever it might be. Don't fight it. Just say, yeah, that's okay.
Just sit in that uncomfortable and just
sit in that
feel it.
uncomfortable, that awkward, uncomfortable, unpleasant feeling. Go
Yeah.
for it. Go with it.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing once you get through it and think, crap, what? And you can't.
You could say, I really unraveled all that.
Yeah.
Like you've prompted me a couple of times and then I've sat in my issue and really unraveled it and really sort of picked it apart and known it's not even about the cue, which was lockdown or which was something that was said. It was about something much bigger, and you can really unravel it and you go, you know what, I feel this way because of this and that, and that's what I need to let go. So I'm going to make positive action in this direction to let this go. And you can unravel amazing amounts of stuff and feel amazing after, so much lighter.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
And that comes to everything, including what we eat and our diet too, because if we can lighten ourselves and we're not so heavy, that will help our cause. So there's just so much we can do, but do little chunks. Do your 5 minutes sitting in silence, do your journaling daily, listen to your heart. Don't be influenced by anyone else. Sure, you've got your partner and you talk through things with your partner, but if their values in certain areas, particularly what's going on at the moment, don't align with yours, you've got to make that decision.
Yeah.
Is this working for me? Or do we both just need to go, I believe what I want to believe, you believe what you want to believe, or, and Jeff and I had this situation. You do what you do and I'll do what I do and we'll meet in the middle. And that is what we started doing, because there was less pressure coming from either of us for change or, seeking their acceptance. You don't need to seek other people's acceptance, and you're not alone with your decisions. You're never
follow
alone.
your heart, and they'll either come with you or they won't. And if they're not with you, if they're not willing to support you, if you follow your heart and what you believe, well, then they probably never were with you, So maybe you were meant to be together, in this chunk of time, but maybe you've grown apart. If someone's not willing to come with you, and vice versa, you go with them and stuff like that. So where you meet in the middle, that kind of thing. So, but your heart is key.
Reason, season, or a lifetime.
Yep.
But, you've still got to work at whatever your situation is. I know, I'm talking about relationships here. It could be a job. It could be something at work. It doesn't have to be a partnership with a husband or wife or boyfriend, girlfriend. This could be in any area of your life. If, it's not working, you definitely need to be thinking about, not be fearful of making the change, because what will that look like?
Yeah, that's right.
But communicate, go through the process, the motions, but stay in your truth, in your heart is what we talk about here. Seek that balance.
Yeah. So when the darkness creeps in, whether it's a judgment from somebody else or the news of what's going on, and you feel that fear, to balance the darkness, that it just shows us where a whole lot of light needs to be shined on. So to restore balance from the chaos, that's the dance of life, and it's just showing you where you should shine some light, if you see it that way.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
just inject some love into this situation.
Inject love.
Yes. It's the only thing you should be.
We might need to leave it there. Normally what they'd say on the news is, I've got to go to ads. Got to go to an ad break. No, but we don't
program your insecurities.
We don't want to make this I guess too lengthy. We just or
Or too serious.
too serious, get our message out there, and those that are interested will listen and watch. But thank you for those that joined us today. Thank you, Ms. Charmaine.
Thank you. Our advertisement is choose love. No pressure.
No pressure. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your week. Love you. Ciao for now, guys.